Good morning, Metru Nui! Welcome back to another episode of the Barraki Talk Show. We're your hosts, the Mielik brothers,
Jacob,
Samuel,
Thomas, and we're glad you're joining us today as we talk our way through the weird and wondrous world of Bionicle. But first, coming up on the Barraki Talk Show. Eliminator took out 7 to 8 of the Toa Man guy, because presumably 2 left. And Nidhiki and Krekka's job was just to take out Lhikan. They pretty much failed, and Eliminator did all the work. You know that Hamilton did the other 59 or whatever? It's literally that. I'm like, comedy gold. The Shattered one should have been like a comedic genius on Metru Nui. Would have made widgets out the wazoo.
I do think he does strike an imposing figure in many ways with the spider-like legs and the big ol' crab claw pincer things.
Dude, when they make the sets before, right? Then they do the lore after him. They should have called him Spider-Man. It would have sold billions.
Spider Crab Man.
All that and more coming up on the Barraki Talk Show.
The City of Legends holds many secrets and stories, and today we are going to cover the titanic impact that these 4 characters, and 2 Rahi, had on the lore of Metru Nui. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Okay, so starting off with the lore section, which is really unusual for us, I know.
We're really shaking things up.
I know. We haven't shooken these things up so much since the last can of soda I shaketh. Anyway, so we're going to start with the first 2 titans, which are going to be Lhikan and Nidhiki. But if you're at all familiar with the lore, you'll say, wait, I think those 2 characters have a connection. And you would be right, because they were both part of the former Toa team of Metru Nui called the Toa Man guy. So, I thought we'd start off with a little bit of the Toa Man guy. Yes, first of all, Samuel, what do you know about the Toa dude bros? Man
The
guy.
Toa dude bro.
Get it? Man guy,
yeah.
dude bro.
I'm trying to remember. I did watch our short on it, actually. I feel like there were 11 of them, right? Is that right? Okay, because there were a lot.
Weren't like 5 of them ice Toa?
4 of them were Toa of Ice. Yeah.
Very effective.
Which is just like, why?
they really liked chilled macchiatos, okay?
I also
Who
know
was
that
the Toa macchiatos?
Oh yeah, they needed Toa macchiatos so that they could chill them all.
So they can chill them, yeah.
Toa Plant Life is the one that did that one.
I see what you did there.
Anyway, continue.
So I know that Lhikan was part of the main guy. I also know
Genius.
that Nidhiki was part of the main guy. I know,
Sherlock Holmes over here.
I'm digging really deep here. But they were created to fight some sort of dragon, and I can't remember what it was called.
The Kanohi Dragon.
Oh, Kanohi Dragon. Yep. I should have remembered that.
Mm-hmm.
But they were created specifically to defeat the Kanohi Dragon, and it took them like a really long time to do it. But they did eventually, and so I think that's honestly really all I know about them. I know that over time they got wiped out, and then Lhikan was the last, which they mentioned specifically in the I think it's actually the first spoken line besides the intro of Legends of Metru Nui. Krekka's like, the last Toa. And it's like, wow, great exposition there.
Yeah. It's very the last melon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all.
Yeah, that's pretty much correct. So what happened was Metru Nui was under attack by this ginormous Kanohi dragon a few thousand years ago. And they're like, oh, dang it. We can't beat it. Even though we have a bunch of Vaki, we can't take it out. We need some sort of super powered team of individuals. And then they're like, wait a second, send out the Vaki because they can fly to just a bunch of random islands and grab as many Toa as you can find.
They just stole them from their existing
No,
teams?
they volunteered to come along.
Okay.
But given that the Vaki have free will erasing staffs, who knows,
That's such a good point.
Good point.
Some Toa's like, I don't want to go. And then some Toa 2 months later, like, where am I? Anyway, So they went out and it brought back 11 Toa who are like, yeah, we're going to go kill this Kanohi dragon. So they all got in and they fought it for like 3 to 4 months. Like it took a stupid long time to take this thing out because it was just like so extraordinarily resilient and had so much stamina. And it was weak to ice, which is why they had 4 ice Toa. But that just goes to prove how insane this thing was. They had 4 of its elemental counter, and it still took them like 3 months to take it out. That's insane.
Yeah.
On Metru Nui, where they have access to unlimited discs. So it's like, what was this thing on?
It sounds like the Konohi dragon was very destructive.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, how fast did they respond and how quickly did they get the Toa there? Because, like, I can imagine if Godzilla was trampling through, like, downtown, Manhattan, let's say, and I feel like within maybe 8 hours, Manhattan would be completely flattened, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, so if this Konohi dragon's, like, marching through Metru Nui unimpeded largely, maybe hampered a little bit by the Vaki, but obviously not enough, that it's like it's just marching around and they're like, you know what we really need to go fly to a whole bunch of other islands to bring Toa back.
So I'm guessing it was like only a day or 2 max that Duma would have realized like we're toast.
Yeah.
And also I don't think it was like wreaking havoc like the Tatorok was. I think it was just flying around harassing. So
Gotcha.
that's my guess.
So, and also to clarify, so the team was assembled for the
Yes.
purpose of defeating the Konohi dragon, but they were not created for that purpose. They existed prior to
But
that.
it was still their destiny.
Why were there no Toa on Metru Nui then?
They didn't have a Toa team at the time because Duma didn't see the need because he'd built the Vaki already. He's like, we're just fighting a bunch of random Rahi, right?
Yeah.
Then when the random Rahi has the power of the sun in the palm of his hand, he's like, okay, maybe we need the Toa. That's an exaggeration. The Konohi dragon didn't have sun powers. Although I think it probably could breathe fire. I need to do more research.
Sun powers would be sick.
Yeah. Anyway, so he just grabbed the first 11 Toa off the street. And then they all got there and like, heck yeah, we're going to be a team now. But then like Metru Nui was calm for like a super long time. They're like, there's nothing to do here. And so Duma's like, hey, you want to go out on super dangerous missions? They're like, heck yeah. And so essentially they just went on dangerous missions and were gone so frequently that the Matoran were just like, Lhikan is the only one that really stays here. He's pretty much the protector of Metru Nui. So that's where there's all the statues of him and only him.
That's funny.
Because they
actually.
never knew when any of the other Toa would ever show up to help them. Like, even in one of the stories that we'll get to later on, it's said that there's only 3 of the Toa Mangai on the island at that time. And it's not framed as abnormal or anything. It's just like, oh, yep, there's only 3 right now. So if that gives you a reason to why there wasn't a Toa team before, it's like there's not much to do on Metru Nui when they're not being attacked by, like, Mukuta or crazy one-off monsters.
Metru Nui is also pretty isolated, so, like, it's not like they're being invaded every other day.
Yeah. Funny thing, though, when they did defeat the Konohi dragon, they went and imprisoned it on Zia, which I think is very funny.
Nice.
They're like, we have the archives. This is the one thing we're not going to put in there. Let's go give it to another island. Brilliant.
Anyway, other important thing to note is that Lhikan was the team leader, obviously. And while there are any Toa team that is the protector of Metru Nui are called the Toa Metru, they were just given the name Toa Mangai as like a secondary name to differentiate them. So you're not like, oh, I'm part of the Toa Metru. And you're like, which Toa
ones?
Metru? Right. Like, to give it a secondary name. Also, moving on to Lhikan now. So, Lhikan was a Toa of fire, thus giving him the ability to control fire. Hot stuff over here. He also had the Mask of Shielding done in the regional style of Metru Nui. And the cool thing about Lhikan, it said that his control was like super duper precise. Like most other Toa were like, holy cow, bro, how'd you do that? Like when he carves the symbols into the Toa stones, he's using his elemental power to do that. So that's like blowtorch level power.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, oh, that's really cool. That's a cool niche to have. So it's not like he's just more powerful than other Toa. He's just like more skilled.
Well, I would imagine he would be because he's been a Toa for thousands of years at this point, right? So it's like, I would hope you've refined your craft a little bit.
Yeah, he's been a Toa for 7,000 years.
Yeah,
so
there we
it
go.
was like based. So then he also had his twin swords, which when he puts them together, makes a hoverboard because everybody flies in Bionicle.
Hoverboard! It's pretty sick, though.
It is sick. I'm like, I want a hoverboard. Why don't more people have hoverboards? Where's my water buffalo? Why don't I have a water buffalo?
Outing yourself as a VeggieTales fan on a public podcast.
I think we've actually already done that.
Yeah. I don't think you out yourself as a VeggieTales fan. Like, everybody loves VeggieTales.
That's true.
Just like everyone has a water buffalo.
One more box store, but wouldn't a Bionicle with a claymore so sick?
That would be sick. Just like bigger than him.
Yeah, just massive sword, like Cloud style.
I'm just imagining now Axon now with a sword that's even larger than he is.
Be dope.
But now we move on to the personality of Toa Lhikan. You're like, what is this guy like? Well, he's basically Captain America. He's kind, super responsible, discerning, tough, and quick thinking. He's an excellent tactician, he's a great leader, and he was so active on Metru Nui that he was considered their only protector and like their patron saint almost. And it says a lot of the statues were made when he would do one specific good deed for the city or a Matoran. So like, given how many statues of him are around the city, like this guy was schmovin', and it was even said that he would help Matoran like settle minor disputes and problems when he had nothing else to do in the city. And he would collaborate with Duma to help with like administrative functions and like to help the quality of life on Metru Nui increase. I'm like, that's so cool. He's just really cool. A good guy, you know? So that's why I say he's like Captain America, because like he's technically not bound by the government, but like he's what the government should be. So, and in my notes here, I also put that he is based beyond all reason, and he was even said to be worth 6 Toa in battle.
So what you're saying is they really only needed 2 Lhikans instead of the 11
If one of the
guy.
Lhikan was ice, then yeah, they would have taken out the Kanohi Dragon way faster.
They'd have been like, we don't need like 4, because now we have one who's really 6 Toa of ice all in one.
If he was Lhikan Nuva, would he be worth like 12 or like 9?
That's a good question.
Good question.
Dude, Lhikan Nuva.
That would be so cool. So, that's all of Lhikan as a person. But what about Lhikan as the legendary figure and center of a story? Well, that's when we get into the events of Lhikan. Crazy concept, I know. So, he was a Matoran on some random island that Toa Dume had visited and saved. So he was working as a smelter on a random island, and then Toa Dume shows up and saves him from some catastrophe. And then later on, we're not sure how, but it is said that Turaga Dume helped Lhikan turn into a Toa. So, lots of room for theory crafting there, but it could be that like he gave up part of his Toa power to give Lhikan a Toa stone. Yeah, which is why they would have such a good working relationship on Metru Nui, and why when Makuta took over, he didn't want to get too close to Lhikan, because he's like, he would know, he's known this guy for like 7,000 years. Obviously, he's going to pick up on weird personality quirks like being pure evil. Although that may have already been a thing before Makuta took over.
7,000 years is just hilarious.
Why?
Normally when you say something like, he's known this guy for, you know, it's like 7. It's like 7,000
I know.
years. The Bionicle timeline is just so whack.
I know. It's bizarre.
I'm sorry, it's just funny.
Yeah. So, but before Lhikan came to Metru Nui, he had a bunch of other misadventures. Like, for instance, he was part of a Toa team before the Toa Man guy, and he was assigned to a Toa Tower, which is a complicated concept. It's where there's a tower full of Toa and they guard something. Like, that's as basic as you can get.
I remember reading about the Toa Tower in one of the stories, I forget which one it is, and I'm just like, what is this?
I remember reading about it so long ago, and that was one of the things that got me interested in the deeper lore. I'm like,
yeah,
a Toa Tower? Because like all I'd known up to then is like the 3 Toa teams that we'd seen. I'm like, how many Toa were there? And they were more prevalent back in the olden days of the universe when there were way more Toa, right? So I'm like, if you have a bunch of Toa and you want to really guard something, might as well throw them in a tower. Towers are cool.
Right.
Anyway, he was part of a Toa Tower that was guarding the Makoki Stone. And that will become important later, but not right now. So save that for like 17 episodes or so. So they're all
17 episodes.
Yeah, because it's relating to the Barraki.
Oh, I gotcha.
So They're all guarding the stone, doing tower sorts of things. And then a bunch of Frostilus attack the fort. And Frostilus are like weird, savage, half Rahi, half thinking people that can disguise themselves as icebergs. And so I'm assuming it's really cold around the tower. And
Probably had nothing to do with all the ice Toa.
There weren't ice Toa there. That's for the Toa man guy.
Right, sorry.
This is a separate Toa team. If they had ice Toa,
how could I have gotten so confused?
If they had ice Toa, they could have just absorbed the Frostilus.
Good point. That's probably because they had no ice Toa.
Yeah.
Because the man guy took all of them.
Sure, bro. So, back to the story at hand. The Frostilus attack, and they are overrunning the Toa fort. And so the leader of the Toa team is like, Lhikan, grab the stone and get the heck out of Dodge. We got to make sure that thing is safe. We'll try to hold him off. Very standard stuff. So Lhikan's like, okay, sir. He didn't want to leave him, but obviously goes down to get the Makoki stone, opens it. Uh-oh, it's gone. Guess who stole it? 2 random Skakti Dark Hunters called Hakan and Vezok. They will never be important later. So Lhikan is like, oh man, this stinks because now my team is dying for literally nothing, and I gotta get out of here or I'm gonna die too. So he leaves the tower, and he's very mad at himself, and that's when he vows, he's like, I'm never going to run again. And so this plays into on Metru Nui when he's the last of the Toa man guy, and like he's getting hunted down by Dark Hunters, and like he doesn't leave because he's never going to run again. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a cool way to tie it into why he's still there.
Yeah.
So later on, he just goes around doing random stuff, and then the Toa man guy are formed. And so that's when they all doing the stuff. But another event happens in between. Well, actually 2 events. So first is that years later, Toa Toyet, who is a part of the Toa man guy, would betray the team and attempt to gain ultimate power from a different super powerful magical stone called the Nui stone. Lhikan and Nidhiki, who are both Toa at the time, go and completely shut her down, and they put her in prison, and they're like, obviously that's not going to hold her for long because she's a full-blown Toa, right? So they're like, okay, we'll sleep on it and come back and do whatever. They wake up in the morning and they're like, she's completely gone. They're like, no one knows where she went. And they're like, Lhikan's like, what are you talking about? They're like, yeah, some Matorans say that the giant, scary, tooth-looking guy teleported in, grabbed her, and teleported out, but we think they're just delusional. And so everyone's just like, okay. And then they just forget about her.
Crazy.
Yeah. So that happened 500 years after the Toa man guy are formed.
I love that the Toa man guy hold the record, as far as we know, for the most traders on one Toa team.
Yeah. They had a
beating the next record
problem.
by 2.
Do you count Onua as a traitor?
No.
Please let me count. So then 500 years after Toyet betrayed them, the Toa Dark Hunter War begins, which is its whole own thing, and I won't get into it super deep here. But what happens is Metru Nui is getting besieged by like the entirety of the Dark Hunters. And like, oh man, what are we gonna do? And Duma's like, I've got a plan. We're just gonna call in as many Toa as we can possibly find, because this is literally his only backup plan. He's like, it's Vaki, or just grab random Toa off the street, apparently. So he gets like 100 plus Toa onto the island, and Lhikan is put as supreme commander of all of the forces, because as noted before, like he's an excellent tactician. And so they're kind of this is a war that goes on for months, which is really rare in Bionicle terms. Like this is one of the longest wars ever. So he's doing a pretty good job, but the Toa are definitely losing. They're losing ground, they're losing members, because since they don't kill generally, it's like they're not really reducing the number of Dark Hunters unless they can capture them. And Dark Hunters are also better at assassination, so when you're walking around the streets of a highly urban environment, like, you're fodder. Eventually, Nidhiki is like, I'm going to be a traitor, he, and turn over all the Toa so that I can join the Dark Hunters and rule Metru Nui. He turns traitor, but Lhikan figures it out, and he's like, okay, Nidhiki's leading us all into an ambush. We'll just ambush Nidhiki, because that night, conveniently, like 200 more Toa showed up on the island, so now they outnumber the Dark Hunters and get the jump on them, and Lhikan is like, yeah, get out of here and never come back. And the Dark Hunter's like, you got us. Okay, we'll leave. And then Nidhiki's like, but Lhikan, can I stay? And Lhikan's like, if you stay here, I will literally kill you. I know it's against the Toa code. And so Nidhiki's like, I'm gone.
That's
so
crazy.
Yeah, so he leaves with the Dark Hunters. And I'm like, man, that is such a bummer that like 2 of your closest friends just betray you like that.
For no like particularly good reason either.
Is there a reason like Toya makes a little bit more sense?
Toya's just power hungry.
Yeah, but like what was Nidhiki's problem?
So he was kind of coerced, and he's also just
stupid.
Kind of a loser. Yeah.
He's an heir.
If you want more insight
An
into
airhead.
it, yeah. If you want more insight to it, there's a story called Birth of a Dark Hunter where most of Nidhiki's lore comes from. It's all about him turning to the Dark Hunters and stuff and how he got to his present mutated state. It's actually a pretty good read, but it goes into like some of the factors on why he did it. But we'll get to that more in the Nidhiki section.
Birth of a Dark Hunter, more like the dissection of a Benedict Arnold.
Yeah.
The dissection of a Benedict. That sounds like a art house movie. Or something.
Yeah.
Like something you'd see on like the History Channel.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, then 2,000 years later, Pterodax takes over as Duma, and he hired Nidhiki and Krekka and Eliminator, who is another random Dark Hunter, to take out the Toa Man guy. And all of them are killed, or some of the Toa Man guy just left on missions on their own and never came back because like nothing to do on Metru Nui. So that left only Lhikan as the final bastion before he too was taken out. What's so funny?
I just imagine that they forgot and ended up going to Zia, and they're just like, oh no, it's here. We forgot we put it here. And they just get eaten by the Kanohi dragon, and that's the end. That's why they never came back.
That would be hilarious, actually.
That would be funny.
Because they're completely incompetent without Lhikan.
Yeah. Well, and you know what's even funnier? So like Duma or Makuta hired Nidhiki, Krekka, and Eliminator to take out the Toa Man guy. Eliminator took out 7 to 8 of the Toa Man guy, because presumably 2 left. And Nidhiki and Krekka's job was just to take out Lhikan. They pretty much failed, and Eliminator did all the work. You know that Hamilton did the other 59 or whatever? It's literally that thing. Like they had one job, and they flubbed it. He got to give away all his Toa power and make an entirely new Toa team. It's like, you guys are useless. No wonder
it really shows you the value of the value difference between Lhikan and everyone else.
Literally worth 6 Toa. And I'll also point out that as soon as Nidhiki switched sides in the Toa Dark Hunter War, that side started losing. So
That's a good point.
Just saying.
Maybe I'm the problem.
So that's Lhikan and his whole shtick. I like Lhikan. I think he's really cool. He seems just like the Paragon archetype played really well.
Yeah.
Right. So
I wish we had gotten more of him.
Yes, exactly.
Like, especially since the largest exposure is the movie, and he's so useless in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, this guy's kind of a loser, it feels like. But then you learn about him, and he has all of this cool stuff to his character that's just so sad that there's not more elaboration on him.
Yeah.
Greg really loved Lhikan and wanted more Lhikan, but
Yeah.
it wasn't really up to him, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wish we'd gotten more Lhikan, Duma, and Nidhiki. Because, like, Bob Thompson was one person who's like, I may want to do more stories with those characters. Like, don't throw down a whole bunch of lore. But they didn't end up doing that, so that's why we have so little lore when so much is implied.
Who is Bob Thompson?
He was head of the story team at the time.
Oh.
Not Greg Farsh. There were other people on the story team.
No.
I know.
But they all are collectively Greg.
Yes, of course.
Fun fact about Lhikan's set. Did you know that it was designed as a response to the movie? So, like, it wasn't planned to be one of the Titans of the Wave. Mm-hmm. They designed it because he was going to play a really prominent role in the movie, and then they quickly rushed it into production and then released it in time for the movie to come out.
You're telling me Lhikan is so based, he literally manifests himself into reality?
It's true. And that's why his mask is one of the only ones that actually looks like it matches. Mm-hmm. Because his mask is actually designed based off of the one in the movie.
That's really cool.
Yep.
I like that. for one additional closing thought about Lhikan, just to drive home that he is so cool, it said that, so like Nidhiki's betrayal was so painful to him that he's like, I'm going to kill you, don't get out of my sight, right? Even though that's like against the Toa code. And it said that Toyette's betrayal hurt him even more deeply because he actually liked her and had been with her for like thousands more years.
Yeah.
And yet, after both those betrayals, he still didn't give up hope in the three virtues or the Toa, going so far as to give up his power to give 6 new random Toa a chance. And I'm like, that's really cool. I just thought
That was
Strength of
hardcore.
will.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, hope pays off.
Better than
baby.
Hafu? No, but still pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, so now we move on to Toa Toyette, who you've heard a little bit about, and that's pretty much all you're gonna hear. Like, so she was a Toa of water, crazy. She didn't like Nidhiki, which is not a rare trait at all.
Clearly.
Yeah. She had the mask of intangibility though, which is really cool. I just like that as a mask. She also carried swords, which I like. They were actually like called swords, not like katanas or some other thing, which I think makes her the only, well, because Lhikans are like hoverboard swords. Hers were just like actual no power swords, which I'm like, if you have a hoverboard sword maker, why not just get a hoverboard sword? Didn't make much sense to me, but I think it's cool. Anyway, and then she was also responsible for multiple murders on Metru Nui, and then tried to obtain power via the Nui Stone. So, Lhikan and Nidhiki eventually stopped her, and she was caught in prison, so on and so forth. But it's interesting because since the story was written much later to like backfill lore about Toyette, it actually does have explicit killing of Matoran in it, which you don't see even in the Metru Nui era. Like sometimes it's implied, sometimes it's kind of hinted at, but like later on, Gray can just be like, yeah, they're gonzo, right? So just thought it was interesting seeing the incongruency between the two eras.
I have a few questions and a clarification, so I'll start with the clarification. Apparently, it's pronounced Toyette.
Too late. I already said all this stuff.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying for
The one that
our
actually
audience
looks like
members
it's
out there.
pronounced the way that it looks for once.
Yeah.
What I was gonna ask is, so is the mask of intangibility just like someone can't touch you? Like you don't necessarily phase through stuff, but like you can't
Martian
get hit?
Manhunter.
Editor Thomas here to say that the mask of intangibility is essentially just the mask of density shifting, where you can make yourself lighter, float through walls, all the stuff like that. And then, besides just having 4 Toa of ice on the team, there are also 2 Toa of water on the Toa
There's
Manga.
half the team right there.
Yeah, exactly. H2O's like, Toa team for me, please.
They probably figured that having Toe of Water would put more water around the dragon, which could be frozen. So
by
they're
Lhikan
like,
sucking all the heat out of it.
They should have
Oh,
called
which is
themselves the Toa Man Geysers.
Oh, because that's how Lhikan does defeat Toyette. He makes like a giant water spout and then just sucks all the heat out, turns to ice, and then just crashes down.
that's cool.
I know. I was like, that is sick. He
That
just
is
pulled
really
the
cool.
Sozin firebending thing out of the volcano. So I thought that was cool. But anyway, back to the the only other named member of the Toa Man guy, who is Naho. That's the Toa of Water, which Naho Bay is named after. That's really all we know about Naho. Toa of Water.
Cool.
Yep. One other thing we do know about the Toa Man guy, though, is they had a chronicler named Kodan.
Is that where the Kodan ball
That's
comes
where
from?
the Kodan ball comes from, even though he had no
No.
relation to anything to do with the Kodan ball. And Pohatu was the one who named the Kodan ball, presumably, even though he has no clue who Kodan is. But he's like,
doesn't
this
make
thing
any
is so cool.
sense.
He gets a primordial urge. He's like, it must be called Kodan.
I like to think that it's just coincidence. Like
Yeah.
how the cow is a mask and a staff.
wait. But Conan would have been a Matoran, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a chronicler.
So Conan could have been one of the Matoran on Madanui.
No. He explicitly died.
Rip.
Yeah.
There goes my theory.
I know.
Out the window.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. Now, the final member of the Toa Man guy, who is Nidhiki, also the second of our Titan sets. So, he was originally a Toa, not a freaky looking spider crab thing. He actually carried a scythe as his Toa tool, which is so cool. I'm like, that is a sick weapon for a Toa to have. He also was a Toa of air, and he had the mask of stealth. So essentially, we see some scenes of him in the Dark Hunter Toa War, and he would just go around with the mask of stealth, sneaking in the shadows with like his massive scythe and air powers, and like trying to ambush or recon people. I'm like, that's a great use
It's like
of
the
all those
Grim
powers.
Reaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of sick, actually.
Yeah, and the way the Volotech looks gives like a creepy sort of Grim Reaper vibe as well. So I'm like, that is so cool. I love that. But he was so cocky that sometimes he wouldn't use the Mask of Stealth, and he'd just walk around Dark Hunter infested territory without it. I'm like, Nidhiki, you're so stupid. But once he eventually gets mutated, he lost his elemental powers and his ability to use masks. But he gained the ability to fly, because everyone in Bionicle can fly, and he can also shoot force bolts, and he can fire Kanoka from his mouth. Blah, blah, blah.
It's really interesting that that's an ability that the Vaki have, but they're mechanical creatures that were built for that purpose, and then Nidhiki just gets mutated and happens to look exactly like a Vaki with the same function of shooting discs from his mouth.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, sure, I'll buy that one.
Like, if you're shooting discs, you better look like a Vaki. And Vakama's like, what about me? They're like, you gotta pass. Just weird. It's just another one of those, what a crazy coincidence.
What a crazy random happenstance.
Yeah. Wow. So, what was Nidhiki's personality? What was he like as a person? Well, he's kind of a loser, as you might have guessed. So, when he was a Toa, he was dismissive of Matoran, but he wasn't outright evil. He's like, oh, from up here, all the Matoran look like bugs to me. But there was one scene where, like, the Vaki is crowding around one of the dead Matoran. He's like, move away, you don't have emotions, not like us cool people. So I'm like, okay. He hates the Vaki. He can't be that bad. He was actually pretty witty, but he wasn't clever. Like, he didn't come up with any good plans ever. And the best he ever did was like, oh, you hit me, Dark Hunter. Now you have to finish me off. And then he just hit him back. So it's like, that's not that great of a plan. That's just a war crime. And he was competent enough, but nothing special, though. He was worth about 1 Toa in battle, maybe 0.8 of a Toa. Not like Lhikan, who's worth it. So he'd be worth like 1/6, 1/7 of a Lhikan. He also hates insects, and he hated them his whole life. So I'm sure that won't be ironic when he gets mutated. And
Surely not.
He's also deeply, deeply loyal to himself above all others. He's with Akmu on that one.
Yeah.
And he's also a risk taker because he's a Toa of air and therefore kind of an idiot. So that's his personality, and he's just a very pleasant fellow to be around. So, what is his history, though? Where did he come from? What shaped him to be this way? Is it nature or nurture?
Honestly, really quickly, I understand why Toyet betrayed them now. Sorry, Tuyet betrayed them. Because if I had been on a team with Nidhiki, I would want to betray them too.
I don't know. I feel like we might be mischaracterizing him a little bit. When he was a Toa, I feel like he was pretty competent for the most part.
That's why I said he's competent, but nothing special.
Well, yeah, but like, sorry. I was trying
Jacob's hearing issues
I was trying
continue.
to emphasize that point. Like, he's not just like kind of, I don't know. He's not just like obnoxious, I don't think, all the time. I think he's just kind of brooding. Yeah.
He's not really brooding. He's just thinks, he like speaks, classic Air Toa quippiness, but his inside thoughts are more like, I hate this guy, or oh wow, I don't care about this at all. Right. So he just kind of masks his true thoughts. But onto his history, unless you had a question.
No, I was just thinking it's funny that you use the word mask. You're like, he masks his true thoughts.
You know what I imagine him like Reaper from Overwatch.
Yeah.
That's who I think of.
Except if Reaper had a bunch of one-liners.
Reaper? Well, he doesn't really, I guess.
Die. Genius dialogue. Dialogue.
Oh.
Anyway, so Nidhiki was native to the southern continent, and specifically the Tren Krom Peninsula, which will never be important later. So, the Toa there commonly use stealth and ambushes because it is like one of the most dangerous places in the Matoran universe. So that's why he used stealth and ambush tactics as well as total evasiveness, because that's what he grew up doing as a Toa. Whereas normally, like, skulking around is against the Toa code, because you want to be like symbols of light and justice and whatever. So I'm like, oh, that's a pretty good idea, because the Trencron Peninsula is literally where all the dangerous Rahi get dumped to, and then they get mutated because it's just a heckin' terrible place to be. So why anyone lives there to start off is just beyond my comprehension.
Mystery of mysteries.
Yeah, it's like living in Siberia, I guess. It's like, I don't get it. So he became a Toa of Air and joined the man guy. We don't know exactly when. He fought Tuyet with Lhikan. And 500 years later, he would betray them all and lead them into the ambush and then do whatever. But going more into how that happened is he was lurking around without his mask of stealth on in Dark Hunter controlled territory, right? And he sees a Dark Hunter running around and he's like, aha, I'm going to take her out with my twin cyclones because he activated his stealth mask once he saw her. And then he shoots twin cyclones to try and catch her, right? Then she backflips over the cyclones without looking back and throws a dagger that like pins him to the wall. All in one move. I was like, whoa, that is sick. And so this turned out to be a Dark Hunter named Lariska. And he's like, oh, dang it, I'm probably gonna die. And then Lariska's like, you don't have to die, you can just like betray them, or I can kill you right now. And he's like, let me think on this. And he's like, yeah, I'll betray him. Do I get to rule Metru Nui though? And she's like, yeah, sure. He's like, yes. So then he went and did that. Then Lhikan was like, yeah, I found you out, bro. I'm gonna ambush you all. So he did that. And then Nidhiki was exiled back to Odina, which is the island of the Dark Hunters. And for 6 months there, he was a trainer who would train other Dark Hunters. Because since he was a Toa, he had a lot of good ideas on how things are protected or how he would protect against Dark Hunters. And so he trained them all to recognize what to look out for when they go on missions. However, the other reason he was a trainer is because the Shadowed One didn't trust him, because he's a literal traitor.
Fair.
Yeah, because the Shadowed One's like, train these guys and then, whatever, we'll see what happens. And so Nidhiki trains them all, right? And he's like, they're ready. This is a quote from the story of Birth of a Dark Hunter. He's like, they're ready, Nidhiki reported. All of them but the blue fool, who's talking about Krekka. He's like, keep me here, or keep him here, send me, and I'll get your rock for you, I promise. And then the Shadowed One is like, the Shadowed One smiled, but did not look up. And we all know what your pledges are worth, don't we, Toa Nidhiki? I'm like, oh, that's the sickest burn of all time. And so
the Shadowed One is an absolute savage.
Yeah, and then even funnier after that, he's like, but, you may have your uses. Okay, I'll send you out on missions with a partner. And he's like, yes, I get to go with Lariska. He walks out the door and Krekka's standing right there, and that's his new partner.
Incredible.
And it actually says Krekka was standing in the door frame, but he's so big he was cracking it. I'm like, comedy gold. The Shadowed One should have been like a comedic genius on Metru Nui. Would have made widgets out the wazoo.
I don't like that.
Yeah. So, eventually Nidhiki was sent out on missions, but only with Krekka, because Krekka was too dumb to actually comprehend betrayal, really. Because Krekka is actually too dumb that he forgets he can fly occasionally, his innate ability that he was born with. So betrayal's like 2 steps beyond that.
Doc, I forgot how to breathe.
Yeah. So Nidhiki's like, I'm out of the base, but I still feel trapped because if I move, this guy's gonna smush me into jelly. Nidhiki's like, oh, I'm so forlorn, I still feel like I'm a Toa, because at this point he was still a Toa, had access to his Toa powers. He's like, I wish I could go somewhere far away and start over my whole new life, maybe even as a hero. He even says to himself, he's like, and you know what? I'm not even that bad. It's because of me that the Toa Dark Hunter War ended. I'm the reason Metru Nui's safe right now. I should be ruling it. I'm like, you are so stupid. I mean, technically true, you are the reason, but also your incompetence is the reason.
I don't know though, just really quickly, I don't even know if that's true, because Lhikan didn't necessarily summon the other 200 Toa to defeat the ambush,
so
did he?
how it happened, the night that he was going to be betrayed, he's like, okay. He goes to Lhikan, and Lhikan is like, I need you to go down to... it was the next day, actually. And he had a rendezvous with Lariska again to work out some more details on how to ambush and whatever. And Lhikan's like, I need to go down to the docks and collect a shipment. And so Nidhiki's like, gotcha, flew away. And Lhikan's like, what the heck? He didn't even ask where it's gonna be. Wait, maybe he doesn't care. Something fishy's going on. And so he trails Nidhiki, figures out that he's meeting with a Dark Hunter, overhears him, planning a betrayal. He's like, oh, okay. Turns out the shipment that was coming in was like those 200 extra Toa.
Imagine Nidhiki opening that shipping crate and he's like, I made the wrong choice.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if Nidhiki, if you had waited 5 more
if
seconds.
you had actually just done what you told Lhikan you were going to do too.
And it even said that Lhikan tracked him down, or like after he left, he was running after Nidhiki to be like, I didn't tell you where it was at. But Nidhiki was too fast and used his mask of stealth. I'm like, oh. So it was, yes, entirely his fault in like 2 different ways. It was just like, that's hilarious. So he's thinking about all this. He's like, I'm the reason that we won the Dark Hunter War. And then a new person called Rudaka comes. Oh, Rudaka? How's it pronounced? Anyway, so she's a Vortex who came to the island, and she wants to purchase Dark Hunter training.
The second one, Rudaka.
Okay, so yeah. So Rudaka, and the Shadowed One's like, what the heck? No one gets Dark Hunter training except Dark Hunters. You can't do that. And she's like, I really want to buy it. And he's like, no, I'm going to kick you out at the end of the week. And so she goes around, and Nidhiki's like, I have an idea. And he's like, I know you want Dark Hunter training, presumably for a Dark Hunter style job. He's like, I'm a Dark Hunter. If you get me in contact with your contacts, I can do the job, and then I'm also a Dark Hunter trainer. Maybe I can train you. And Rudaka's like, oh yeah, great plan. Let's do that. Maybe down by the docks the other night. And he knows where these docks are this time. And so Nidhiki goes down to the docks, and that's where he's doing all of his pondering. And then he's just sitting there, and he's like, I wonder where she is. And then wham, out of nowhere, he gets hit by a Rotuka spinner that mutates him into the crab-like form today. It's Rudaka. She's talking to the Shadow One. She's like, yeah, I took out your trader problem for you. This guy was going to leave the Dark Hunters. So the Shadowed One's like, oh yeah, now we'll train you as a Dark Hunter, Rudaka, because you took out this stupid Nidhiki guy who, since he doesn't look like a Toa anymore, no Matoran village is ever going to accept him. He's stuck here with us forever. And then Krekka's also there.
Amazing.
And so Nidhiki...
It's kind of tragic.
Yeah, it is kind of tragic. But I'm also like, dude, you're so stupid. It's the second time you got bamboozled. It was just so funny because he thought he was so suave with that move. But I'm like, you're just so stupid. So that's the whole story of Nidhiki and why he's just pathetic. So in my final thoughts for this, I said he's failed every scheme he's literally ever had. And his fate is tragic, but also completely preventable. Like, he could have done everything differently and it would have turned out better. So, any thoughts on Nidhiki?
I mean, he's, like I said, tragic. That's like, it's sad, but entirely his own fault, you know? So I find it hard to find sympathy for him.
Mm-hmm.
It is sad in a way, but it's like, it is mostly just a series of poor decisions that he made. Like, almost everything bad that happened to him is his own fault.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, tough. But that's always tough. But, can't feel like too bad for him, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know.
I do kind of wish, like, in some ways it's like, I wish he would have been able to escape and be the hero that he wanted to be, but, I don't think he would have ever done that.
Yeah, that's the issue,
Mm-hmm.
because he already had that opportunity.
Yeah.
He had that shot and he blew it. So it's like, why? And then you see repeatedly that this is his nature. He always makes decisions like this. So if he had gotten that shot again, he probably would have done the exact same thing he did on Metru Nui.
Yeah.
So it's I don't
Becomes
know.
a pattern at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, one final thing is you should read Birth of a Dark Hunter. It's very short and it goes over the whole thing. When he gets mutated into the spider thing, he has a severe fear of insects, right? So he looks down at his own form and he starts screaming and like passes out for like a while because he's just so terrified of what he's become. I'm like, wow, that's brutal.
It's like if Batman got actually turned into a bat. Anyway, I do think Nidhiki I think he's an interesting character.
Yeah.
I do like his inclusion. I think as a Toa, it would be really interesting to see him at his height and see him and Lhikan kind of interacting.
Yeah, I really would have liked to have a set of him because he just has such a cool design. And a green Volotech would have been cool. Or at least like a silver one.
It probably would have been silver
Yeah.
to match the colors.
Yeah, but still would have been cool. So that brings us on to Nidhiki's literal partner in crime, Krekka. Krekka is a low-class Stelton species, and he is incredibly tall and strong. He's literally like 13 feet tall. If you look at the movie, like he's like more than twice as tall as Nokama is.
Dang.
And Toa are like 7.5 feet or 7
Yeah.
feet 2 inches tall. I'm like, this guy's huge. No wonder he hasn't died yet. Like, how are you gonna kill him?
What's a Steltian species?
So they're
Or
from
Steltian.
Yeah, they're from the island of Stelt.
Really?
Uh-huh. And it said they have multiple species on the island. So like one later character is a highborn Stelton species. Krekka was a laborer species.
So that's why he's low class. Where the labor is low class.
Yes.
Okay.
And he his job that we see him as the first time is actually as a bouncer outside of like a
That's so funny.
a high-ranking
I could
guy's
totally
job.
see that.
I know, because I'm looking at him like, yep, I wouldn't go into that club if like he was there. Going on back to his physical attributes, he is strong, like stupid strong. Like there's one part where he has to climb up a giant cliff, like the Cliffs of Insanity level thing, to get to a secret Matoran stronghold. And he just starts punching into the wall and using it as handholds because he can just do that until Nidhiki's like, bro, you can fly, right? And he's like, duh. Yeah, because he can transform into flight mode, and he can also shoot energy webs and create energy handcuffs. And he also carries a Kanoka launcher. So he is stacked to the gills.
Which is automatic, or doesn't have to be launched by hand.
Yeah, it's shoulder mounted.
Shoulder mounted.
Because it's based.
It's like controlled mentally or something like that, I think. If I remember
I hope
correctly.
not. He probably has some mechanism though. And this made him perfect for the Dark Hunters because he's stupid, dumb, but loves being violent and destroying things. So, yeah, I have here in my notes, Krekka is really, really, really dumb. I can't emphasize this point enough, okay? This guy's dumb as rocks. That's not true. Like, Onua and Pohatu, like, can semi-communicate with rocks. Krekka's just off the table.
I mean, he can speak
That's true.
coherent words.
Yes. Are any of them useful? Remember in Legend of Metru Nui, he's like, watch Nidhiki to shoot. Because there's like two Nidhiki.
That's true.
And remember when the giant slab falls on him? Because he forgets at that time that he can fly as well.
Also, good point.
So, his history. He worked as a guard on Stelt, and one day he turned away a very, very powerful visitor. And then he fought them, and he lost an eye. So that's his Nick Fury origin story.
That makes sense.
Then his boss was like, bro, you're stupid and useless. Also, I really like this super powerful visitor, who we'll be getting to in the Chronicler's Corner. And so you're gonzo, bud. Beat it. And so he just kind of wandered around Stelt for a little bit, and then eventually he left the island to go and do other things. So he went around getting into trouble and smashing things, but the reason that he's still alive is because he's super duper strong. So like, he could get out of trouble, because how are you gonna punish him too severely? So the Dark Hunter saw him, and they're like, oh great, this guy loves smashing things. So he got recruited, he got trained by Nidhiki, and then he went on missions with Nidhiki, and then skipped to the events of the movie, and that's all we see of him. Until he dies by getting absorbed into Makuta.
Nice.
Yep.
Become one with the Makuta.
Yeah. So, just in case you missed it, Krekka's really dumb. That's
And
like
he has one eye.
Yeah. He's a Cyclops.
My exposure to him was basically just in the movies, and he's so dumb. Like, honestly, both of them are really dumb in the movie, both Nidhiki and Krekka. And so I just kept thinking, especially when we re-watched it, I was like, there's no point for them to be in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, they're not actually a threat.
Nope.
They're just meant to like push the Toa along, but even then the Toa already have a goal. Like,
and there's already the
like,
Vaki who can do that.
Yeah, that's true. But like, they're already trying to find stuff. They don't need like external pressure to keep moving.
Yeah.
And so it's just weird. I don't have like any emotional connection to Nidhiki or Krekka. I think Nidhiki has a cool backstory.
Yeah.
And Krekka has an interesting backstory to an extent, but he's not like, wow, this is such a cool character. It's just kind of like, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He's just, whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I wish I liked him more.
Yeah.
Because, like, in the Birth of a Dark Hunter, he is actually he's portrayed very humorously, which makes him kind of likable. But in the movie, he's just dumb and annoying.
I think something else really quickly that, like, both his design in the movie and his physical design in the set are not very, they aren't appealing to me, at least. So, like,
it's not like lovable oaf design, right? It's just
exactly. And they're also so foreign to a lot of the characters that we had seen to that point too, where he just looks so unlike anything else that has come before that it just, I don't know. I just don't like the design choice really of how he looks, like I said, both in the set and in the movie, which they're pretty close, but it's just weird. I just don't like it.
No, yeah, I agree. Now we move on to everyone's favorite Titan, the best one by far. This is Nivawk.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yeah, Nivawk is so good and memorable.
Yep. So here's the extensive obscure lore on Nivawk. It is a hawk-like Rahi. I wonder where they got the name from. That can carry at least a Turaga around. It also
in a little kangaroo pouch on its belly.
Yes. And this is where the interest. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Just before we say its name too much, it's actually Nivawk.
That's on a need to know basis.
Nivawk.
Gosh.
So, Nivawk, everyone's favorite Titan, Nivawk speaks a Rahi language that Makuta can understand. A bird Rahi language.
I bet Nuju could also understand it.
Yes, but it makes me wonder if Makuta can understand bird Rahi languages and Nuju speaks exclusively in bird Rahi languages, is Nuju a spy for Makuta?
That's not where I was going with that.
No.
Maybe just Nuju just is Makuta.
Oh.
He's already taken over one Turaga.
First time.
Just saying.
There's precedent here.
It would make a lot of sense.
The Supreme Court of Bionicle's like, we like this case.
I feel like the Toa Metru have to win the prize for the fastest Toa turned into Turaga.
Yeah, probably. Unless you have like an island that's like a Toa generator, where as soon as you become a Toa, it's like 6 Toa stones, next, 6 Toa stones, next. Then they just like airdrop them on like Matoran Island, just blam, blam, blam.
They die, then they weren't good enough.
No, that would be energized protodermis.
It wasn't your destiny to live. Nope. Kicks him out of the plane.
Imagine they were going to be a Toa, but a rock dropping at like Mach 5 just smashes them into the ground.
The whole island of wind, we just...
So, Nivawk was also used as a spy and saw all the important events that happen to the Toa Metru, pretty much, which is how Makuta knows about the stuff they did, which I'm like, okay, that's actually a good way to show why, since he's holed up there, he's still able to see stuff without just being like omniscient like he was on Metru Nui. And then absorbing Nivawk is what allowed Makuta to get wings in his final form. That's literally all the lore there is on Nivawk. That's it.
Cool.
I know. I'm like, I don't wish there was more. I'm just disappointed that's all there was.
Yep.
So now we come to everyone's actual favorite Rahi Titan, the Kikinalo. Oh, yeah. So, Kikinalo are herbivore elephant kangaroos. That's pretty much what they are. They're intelligent, they are proud, they're territorial. Those are their personality traits. But their powers is they are super strong, they have razor sharp tusks, and they have a sonic scream that's stupid powerful.
As we see demonstrated twice in the Legends of Metru Nui.
This is like if a bunch of black canary Krekkas roamed in packs and were nice and intelligent. That's just what a Kikinalo is. Like, they're unstoppable by anything short of an army. And when they run along and rampage, their razor-sharp tusks claw into the dirt and bring up chunks of protodermis. So Pomatoran actually like being around them because when they've gone through, there's all these cool rocks of, solid protodermis around.
That's cool.
I'm like, oh, that's actually really neat.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Which would make... So, are the Kikinalo only found in Po Metru, or are they found around all of the islands?
They're just in Po Metru as far as I know.
Okay.
Because that's where all the plains are. And then also, sometimes they graze with cane rob wolves, which we mentioned before. They're one of the Rahi sets on Metru Nui.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes sense, actually. I was going to ask, so there are cane raw on Metru Nui, but of course there had to be cane raw on Metru Nui for there to be cane raw on
Not
Metru
necessarily.
Nui.
Some Metru Nui Rahi came from elsewhere other than Metru Nui.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. But eventually, some of the Kikinalo migrated to Metru Nui. So, happy ending for all. Any closing thoughts about the Titans of Metru Nui before we move on to the Chronicler's Corner?
I feel like they're all so run-of-the-mill for Titans. Like, some of them are good. Like, Lhikan and Kikinalo is a great set. I really like it. But, like, the rest of them...
Yeah, they don't make me want to go out and buy them, right? It's like, okay, Krekka, like, here's a big guy. It's like, what's his lore? He's a big guy. It's like, okay, I could just get the Toa instead because they can shoot fire. Like, because me, I buy from a lore standpoint, largely. And I'm like, Krekka, it's like, or sorry, Nidhiki. It's like, okay, he's just a spider-looking guy that shoots lasers. If you only know him from the movie, like, why would you want to buy Nidhiki?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So most of the Titans are just like, whatever. And then Nivawk is a total non-entity. Like, just a nothing
I feel
burger.
like they just didn't have much to do with in the lore. Like, almost, other than Lhikan, like, none of them really, like, I don't know. Nidhiki got more later. Krekka's just kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Nivawk is kind of pointless. Duma obviously has things to do, but...
Yeah, thanks to Dua. Well, actually, if in the movie, Duma doesn't do anything except sleep in a Matoran pod. With that all being said, let's move on to Chronicler's Corner. You are now entering the Chronicler's Corner. The following content may not be appropriate for viewers unaware or unacquainted with the wider Bionicle lore, as major plot points and reveals will be spoiled. If you wish to avoid this section, skip to this time in the podcast.
1 hour, 4 minutes, 43 seconds.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, Chronicler's Corner!
Okay, so, starting off with some Toa Mangai facts. The Turaga in the caves that taught Nuju, Onua, and Manua was actually Lhikan.
No!
Yes. So in the movie, when they all get in prison,
Surely
there's this
not.
random Turaga that's teaching them. That's actually
With
Toa
just
Lhikan.
an amazing disguise.
I know. I couldn't tell. Even when he took it off, I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, no way.
Wow.
They would never do something like this.
That would be crazy.
Yeah. So that one blew me away. You have to know the deep lore to even begin to understand the concepts of that twist.
Never trust your eyes, kids.
Wait, I have a question. Why is this in Chronicler's Corner?
It was hilarious.
I am pointing at laughing and Samuel for our
Samuel
viewers
can't
who have
understand the
working eyes.
concept of how this even works. Like like I said, you may not get it, folks.
It's deep lore.
It's one of the deep twists that Greg laid out for us.
Yeah. It was hinted at all throughout the previous years of Bionicle.
I'm just very confused.
I just thought it's funny because I was just looking at Lhikan. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. We joked about him being like the worst disguise ever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah. Anyway, if you think it's stupid, I'll cut that out.
I think it's hilarious.
Okay. So, now, the second Toa Mangai fact is that Tuyet was taken by Botar to the pit.
Botar!
Yes. So that big old scary being they reported showing up was actually just Botar. And when the pit was breached during the Great Cataclysm and everyone was escaping, she actually died fighting. But it's unclear if she died fighting to escape or was fighting to keep the others in. So it's like, if you want her to have a redemption arc, there you go. If you want her to keep being a villain, there you go. I'm like, ooh, that's actually a cool bit of mystery to the lore. I like to think it's the latter because it gives the mainline Toyette a nice ending. It's like, okay, she did come around to her senses, whereas Nidhiki did not. One trader's good, one trader's evil.
A Bionicle campaign set in the pit breakout would be so cool.
That would be kind of cool, actually. Yeah, Metru Nui campaign.
Yeah, that'd be sick. But specifically during the pit breakout, you either play as pit prisoners trying to escape, or you play as like Hydraxin and like
all
his
6
guards,
players
his fellow
are
prison guards.
Hydraxin. They control him like Voltron. So that is the end of the Toa Man guy facts.
Was Botar the big guy that beat up Krekka?
The person Krekka fought was Makuta Gorast.
Oh, interesting.
And he lived to tell the tale, which that is insane. That is one of the most impressive feats in Bionicle, period. Because, in case you don't know, Gorast has killed multiple other Makuta.
Yep.
That's bonkers.
And she's like an insane warrior.
She rules the Trenkrom Peninsula, the most dangerous place in the universe. Specifically, she chose it because she's like, this place is crazy. I'm going to go make everything down there fear me. And they all fear her. And Krekka survived that.
Gorast is the one who shows up at the end of the series, right?
Correct.
In the...
She's the
she's
one
in
that
green
looks like a
Nui.
mosquito.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when I say like Krekka's bumbling around islands and like no one's powerful enough to stop him, it's because, yeah, like he survived the fight with Gorast.
He is actually insanely powerful.
Yeah.
He's just too stupid to channel it.
Give him even average intelligence. Like, he's gonna rule the world. All the super strong characters tend to be really dumb. Like Nocturne, dumb as a brick, right? He's like the physically strongest character in the world, but like, he's just so stupid. Like, we gotta balance this somehow, because otherwise you end up with Axon and Brutica.
Yeah.
Who are just sitting there like, why don't they solo everything? Because like they can. And then moving on, Krekka and Nidhiki were hired to help guard the Avoki when the Toa Haga attacked the Makuta stronghold. So when the Toa Haga were attacking, trying to get the Mask of Light away from Makuta, because like, oh man, Makuta are actually evil, Krekka and Nidhiki were there to try and stop them, as was Rudaka. So after they failed to stop them from stealing the Mask of Light, though, the Brotherhood of Makuta was like, please, can we kill these two morons? They failed us. And the Shadowed One is like, no, you can't kill Dark Hunters, okay? But then later on, obviously, Pterodax ends up killing them during the movie events. I'm like, okay, that's pretty funny, actually. Maybe he hired them specifically because he's like, just one slip up and these guys are gone.
That's fair.
Yeah. The other theory is that the Shadowed One sent them because he didn't want to help the Brotherhood of Makuta that much.
Excellent.
I'm like, both of those are perfectly hilarious. The why he sent Eliminator, he's like, I got to provide something of value, right? So,
And presumably the Shadow One is not a huge fan of Toa.
yeah, no, he's not, given the Toa Dark Hunter War.
Yeah.
So, then moving on, Makuta killing Krekka and Nidhiki is what starts the Dark Hunter and Brotherhood of Makuta War. Because the Dark Hunters only have 3 rules, and one of them is if you kill a Dark Hunter, we will kill you, right? So when you're fighting the leader of the Brotherhood of Makuta, you're fighting all of the Brotherhood of Makuta. That war doesn't go well for the Dark Hunters, by the way, because no kidding. And the
You
other
mean
thing,
the power difference that's like a dog compared to a wolf?
yeah,
Yeah.
I love that the Brotherhood of Makuta fights the Dark Hunters. The Dark Hunters fight the Toa, and the Toa fight the Brotherhood of Makuta. They're all they just make a triangle of hate.
yeah.
Unity, duty, destiny, baby.
Makuta D, I don't know. Anyway, the last fun fact is that Nidhiki and Krekka can't be revived on the Red Star since they were absorbed mind, body, and soul. So they're gone forever. We will never see them again. They're as dead as you can be. And then Makuta also died, who they got absorbed into, so they're double dead.
Super mega ultra dead.
Yeah. See, the reason the Shard of Boda Magna crashed and killed Makuta is because it knew Nidhiki and Krekka were in there. It's like, gotta get him. Anyway, so that is all of the Chronicler's Corner.
Excellent.
Any closing thoughts on the Chronicler's Corner?
No.
Okay, move on to Technical.
You are now entering the set and technical portion of the podcast. This is where we examine the real-world production and set design of the LEGO Bionicle toy line. Alright, going into the technical section, there were 4 Titan sets for the 2004 wave, and they were all actually roughly the same number of pieces, give or take, and 3 of them retailed for $20 and 1 of them retailed for $30. So we're going to go through them one by one, starting with Nidhiki set number 8622. With a 170 parts and a retail price of $20. Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal for what you get. Nidhiki is, of course, the mutated Toa of Air, and he is a fairly standard Titan set, although he is not without his unique aspects, of course. He has a dark green and silver color scheme, which is, it's pretty good. It's good. It's a good look, I think. I like the style.
I do like his colors, and especially on the promo shot, the background colors of like that bluish gray fits really nice with it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I agree.
I just wish he had yellow eyes.
Yeah, I know. Photoshop.
I do think he does strike an imposing figure in many ways with the spider-like legs and the big ol' crab claw pincer things.
Dude, when they because they make the sets before, right? Then they do the lore after him. They should have called him Spider-Man. It would have sold billions.
Spider Crab Man.
Watch Multiverse or Beyond the Multiverse. What's the next Spider-Man movie called?
Across the Spider-Verse.
Across the Spider-Verse Part 2 comes out, and Nidhiki's just going to be there. He can shoot energy webs as well. He is Spider-Man.
That's true.
He's a web slinger.
Yeah, but his... it's interesting because his legs and his crab claws are both made from Takanuva's Staff of Light, the tip of the spear. His modified Kolhi staff.
Not the actual Staff of Light, the piece that they used for the Staff of Light.
Yeah, not in lore. This is not a lore. This is not a lore.
I was wondering, like, where the heck was he getting this from?
That'd be crazy.
It's like, not only did I get 1, I got 4.
Yeah, he's like, I had to. Do you know how many? Do you know how many Takanuvas I had to kill to get these legs?
Right. Just going to alternate universes and killing all the different Takanuvas.
Yeah, just for legs. Wait.
Actually.
He has crab-like claws.
He does.
Is this another example of a Bionicle crab?
Yeah, I think so.
We need a Bionicle crab counter.
Loves crabs.
Yeah.
We should put a crab. Samuel, put a crab counter up.
Just like a long-standing crab counter for the whole series.
Every time we get a new crab, go back and retroactively count all the crabs.
I think we've only had 1.
No, we have Manus.
Oh, we have Manus and we have Puku.
And we have Puku. And we had, what were the little tiny ones from the Mega Builder set?
Yeah, there was a crab in there.
Yeah. I forget what that one's called.
Anyway, that doesn't matter.
There's been at least 3 crabs so far. While Nidhiki doesn't contain any unique or new molds, he does have a few exclusive recolors, including some Technic beams in dark green, which is interesting because those pieces normally come in just like more neutral colors like black or gray or white.
Was the color just called dark green or was it like pearl dark green?
No, it was just regular dark green this time around.
Imagine.
Yeah, I know. Crazy. Bionicle with regular colors? What?
Yeah.
Impossible.
Like some guy was about to put the color on the piece, but then someone put their hand and they're like, hey, that's enough pearl dark green for you.
The guy pressing the pearl button got fired. Oh, man. Rakshi, man. What a bizarre choice. Nidhiki did have some play features. Since he used a Vaki head, he could, of course, launch a disc from his mouth. Such a strange choice, but it's fine. It works. He also had a feature that used the rubber hose parts that were really common in this area. It's part 32580, and you probably most of you would recognize it as being the piece that makes the Zamersphere launcher work.
Heck yeah.
And he uses that piece to be able to open and close his claws, and the same or a similar mechanism could be used to put his legs into quote unquote flight mode. Which is just So stupid.
He is. The set does not actually fly, though.
No.
Sad.
Or does it?
Well,
I
If you
guess
chucked
if
it
you
hard
take
enough,
it
it
on a
would.
747 with you, it does.
That's true.
uh,
The articulation on the set was pretty good. It could bend at the waist, and it had all the expected joints in the top portion of the model. But this, of course, came at the expense of fully articulated legs. The legs could only be moved side to side, and I suspect this had to do with stability. Now, I do want to just briefly describe this set because I probably should have done that before. It looks like a regular Toa sort of figure on the top, except for with the giant crab arms
And Vaki head.
and the Vaki head. And then the bottom is like four-legged kind of spider thing, and so it's almost like a spider minotaur.
mm-hmm.
Kind of what it looks like.
It's just a drider, isn't it?
Yeah.
Half human, half spider.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately the legs couldn't really be fully articulated, but they did have that, cool folding up feature. So there's that. If you're interested in this character or just the Metru Nui Titans in general, Nidhiki would be a good one to get. His used aftermarket price is really not much higher than his MSRP, especially with inflation, like accounting for inflation. He goes for about $35 on Bricklink now, which is just a little bit over what an inflation adjusted price would be. So
Base.
not bad. Pretty much get him for retail price if you really wanted him.
Which plays into our theory of no one really wanted to buy Nidhiki and Krekka.
Right.
Like,
It's
who
true.
cares?
Yep. Speaking of Krekka,
Ooh.
set number 8623 and coming in with a substantially larger 203 parts. Krekka also would originally retail for $20.
Dang, that's crazy. You get 30 more parts over Nidhiki for the
Yeah.
same price?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it really shows.
Yeah.
Like, Krekka's big.
Yeah.
Like, he's bulky.
He's bulky, yeah.
Yeah. I really like Krekka as a set.
He
I think
definitely has
looks
a lot
cool.
more small pieces for sure, but yeah, he's bulkier, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Krekka is, of course, Nidhiki's brutish but dim-witted companion. And he's another fairly...
Wait. Is he really that dumb, Jacob?
He is very dumb.
Oh, okay.
He is another fairly standard Titan, both for the time and for what was yet to come. I think he just doesn't stand out as like especially interesting.
Yeah.
If you put him in a lineup, you'd go, "Oh, that's cool," and then move on.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
He doesn't have like a core thing to build. He's not like Axon's hands, right? Or like
Right.
Brutica's sword or mask.
He has the eye, and that's basically
I know,
it.
but it's just like a stud.
Yeah, it's a
So
stud
it's like
on
it's
a
not
tube.
that cool.
It's really not. He does. So he had a white and dark blue color scheme, which actually that does help him stand out, especially from that wave, because that's a pretty unique color scheme for the era.
Yeah.
One memorable feature of Krekka is his red eye connected by a white tube. And like Nidhiki, Krekka features no new molds, at least not as far as I could tell. And the only exclusive part, again, as far as I could tell, is a dark blue Rakshi foot that was used as like his chest armor. Not pearl dark blue, regular dark blue. His weapons, for weapons, he carried two different Vaki staffs, and he had a shoulder mounted disc launcher and some sort of laser cannon looking thing. I don't know what that's supposed to be, honestly.
I have no clue.
It's not mentioned in lore, but it's there, so
Yeah.
maybe it's like a laser sight for his disc launcher.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
Wait, what is it? What are you looking at?
Well, I was trying to figure out because on the like box art for Krekka, he has like the glowing yellow eyes again that they
Yeah.
did on Nidhiki.
which those are not supposed
They're
to
not
be his
supposed
eyes.
to be there. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the one eye is supposed to be the eye.
Yeah.
And which probably contributes to my absolute confusion of how he looks in the movie versus the set.
Yeah.
Because I was like, they don't look anything alike in that regard, because clearly those are his eyes in the movie, or that's his one eye in the movie, and the set's not at all like that. And I'm like, oh, now that I'm looking at it, it's because whoever designed the art didn't know clearly did not know the story behind the
Yeah,
design.
I mean, if you look at it, it doesn't really look like it's supposed to be an eye.
No,
it looks
it
like it's
doesn't.
supposed
it
to be
looks like
some
a
sort of
scope or
I know.
scope.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I like it
exactly.
better not as an eye, because I like him with the Vaki yellow eyes. I think it
Yeah.
looks
agree.
cool.
Like
Yeah.
now knowing that's an eye and having known that for a while now, I still hate it. I'm like, I like the thinner head, like not this weird eye that's like completely disconnected from the rest of the head. It's very strange.
Yeah.
He also has massive feet for some reason. Like, just the biggest platforms for feet that ever existed.
Bro's got a stomp.
It's insane. I don't know, man. Of course, Krekka features all the standard articulation you would expect, except for his head, which could be rotated by turning a knob on the back. Which, cool, I guess.
Crazy.
Yeah. On the aftermarket, Krekka goes for about the same as his counterpart, Nidhiki, so about $35-ish.
Which for the 30 extra pieces is way more worth it.
Yeah, I agree. And he's, honestly, I think just as good of a set.
I think he's cooler. I really like Krekka as a set. Not that much, obviously, but like,
Yeah.
compared to, I don't know, a Barraki, I'd way rather have Krekka.
Speaking of... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. I think just going back to what we were talking about earlier and what I was kind of saying earlier, I don't really like Krekka's design. And I was harsher on the set earlier when I was talking about it, but I'm harsh on the set with the added knowledge of the eye being an eye. Because without it, it's actually much closer to what I'd imagine a Bionicle to look like. But I think it was that weird departure where like he's supposed to look unlike anything that we have seen up to that point, but it's too drastic of a change where he looks way more robotic to me than any of the other sets do. And I don't like that look. I think it looks very strange in comparison to everything else, and it just, I don't know, it really bothers me for some reason. Whereas Nidhiki doesn't, because Nidhiki falls much more into the same design language that the Toa were and the Vaki, obviously.
And he's also a crab, which is distinctly Bionicle.
Exactly. So, I don't know, I know I'm being pretty brutal.
Brutal.
I'm being pretty brutal on Krekka, but he kind of deserves it in my opinion.
Brutal.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm neutral pretty much on Krekka. I think he's fine.
I just wish, like I'm saying, if they had just removed the eye, like I'm looking at the picture right now. If they just removed the eye, I would have been like, I'll accept that. That's cool.
Or if Greg was just like, that's a scanner visor thing, not his eye.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything along those lines.
Yep.
Oh, but what's next? Turaga
Next
Dume
up,
and
we
Nivawk?
got set 8621, Turaga Dume and Nivawk.
Ooh.
This one
Nivawk.
Nivawk. This one was 179 parts, so somewhere between Nidhiki and Krekka. And its original retail price was also $20. Now, speaking of mediocre sets, Dume and Nivawk, his trusty hawk, dinosaur thingy.
Hawk like Rahi, Jacob.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Together, I think they make a decent looking set, but apart, well, we can look at them individually, but yeah. Not as strong, I don't think. Okay, so we'll start with Dume. Dume features a red and black color scheme and sports an exclusive to this set, red Metru Nui Matoran torso, which is interesting. Regular red.
Ooh.
In fact, his entire build is very similar to the Matoran of this wave, featuring the same basic design, just using Borak arms instead of the gray, or Borak limbs instead of the gray Matoran limbs, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know why they made that change. It's so weird because he doesn't look like a Turaga at all. He just looks like a Matoran.
Yeah.
Because he's built the exact same way as the Matoran. He also features a black head. So he does, interestingly, he uses the Matoran head with the old mask connection, but uses the new mask type with the pin instead of it. And the axle that goes in.
So he has the axle head.
He has an axle mask with the old Matoran head. The old Matoran Toa head from like
that's weird.
2001 to 2003.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Why would
very
they do
bizarre
that?
choice. I don't know. I truly don't know. I don't know why they didn't just give him a Matoran style mask instead.
Yeah.
Maybe, well, it's probably because they were transitioning away from the masks that could be more easily knocked off.
Yeah.
But in that case, then I don't know why they didn't give him one of the new heads. It's just strange.
I know, it's weird.
It's very strange.
Yeah, do half and half.
Yeah, bizarre choices all around. His mask, though, speaking of his mask, is arguably the coolest part of the whole set. It's a red and black marbled Kanohi Kirill, although it seems like it also potentially has a different name. So, I don't know.
It's a mask of regeneration.
Right. Other than the mask, Duma's build is pretty underwhelming and features no outstanding play features aside from the normal articulation.
Yeah.
And many MOCs have been made which do him much, much better in my opinion. Although the mask is always used because, again, the mask is great.
Yeah.
Good mask.
I do really like his mask and the dual coloring on it. One of my favorites.
Really
it looks so cool.
It does look
that
really
red
good.
and black is just
his whole color scheme. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to see Toa Dume so stupid bad.
the marbled red and black would be sick.
Mhm.
Nivawk is a pretty large and imposing figure even without Duma, with a menacing black and silver color scheme, wicked clawed feet, and widespread wings made from 4 key rock staffs. The model is very thin and not very fleshed out, and without Duma riding in his kangaroo pouch, he looks a little bit unfinished.
Wait, you telling me there's 2 kangaroo rides?
They were really inspired by Australia,
Yeah.
and then the fact that everything wants to kill you,
It's because it's a big island where everything
Thing
wants to kill you.
yeah.
Oh.
Dude, Metru Nui is just Australia.
I was thinking Mad anyway, but
Wait, it's all Australia?
always has been.
Metru Nui can be New Zealand or something, I guess. Nivawk did feature some pretty cool play features, though. Obviously, he had the feature where you could insert Duma into the pouch on the abdomen area, where he would stay nice and secure. Additionally, Nivawk could open and close his sharp claws, which were made from Gallimata's climbing claws, to grab Matoran or other unsuspecting figures and carry them off into the sky and then drop them. Once there, up in the sky, you could press some more of those 32580 tube pieces located on his back to unfold the wings and soar away into the horizon.
Wow.
Together, Duma and Nivawk make a decent looking set, but apart, the lacking designs become much more apparent in my opinion. They just both kind of look unfinished when they're not together. Together, they look fine. Like the other 2 Titans, this set goes for about $35 used on Bricklink Aftermarket. So again, a good one to pick up if you want it. What do you guys think of this set?
Well, the only thing I can think of, if anyone else is a Warhammer fan, it looks like the one of the Grey Knight's most infamous models, this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This thing is memed on in the Warhammer fandom because it just looks like a baby carrier, and that's exactly what Nivawk looks like
Yeah.
to me.
Especially like the straps.
Mhm.
Like it looks so
I know, it's like,
funny.
gotta make sure you're tucked in, we don't want you falling out.
Right.
It's like, isn't this guy like the 50,000-year-old leader of your city? Like, what are you doing here?
I will be way more harsh on this one. So I do like Duma's mask. That is about the only thing I like in this set. Because I think the design of him using the Matoran design language is horrible. It looks so bad. So for example, when I was drawing the thumbnail for Legends of Metru Nui, and I was trying to put him together, I was like, wait, how is he actually built? I'm like, oh, he's built like a Matoran. And originally, before I'd put pauldron, like the pauldrons on, and whatever it's called, the cloak, it was like, this looks so bad, like so bad. And I was doing research trying to get good reference images, and they all just looked like that because that's what the build was like. And I just really don't like the design, so
Yeah.
I drew on the cloak,
Which
because
looks
I'm
way
like,
better.
this is I think that's one thing that the movie, in all like considering all of its flaws, that was not one of them. At least how they did his body design. I don't like his mask, how it's portrayed in the movie, but the rest of him is portrayed
No,
very well.
The cloak covers a multitude of sins.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful.
It really does. Yeah.
I think Bionicle as a toy line would have benefited massively from more cloth.
Yeah.
And when they started using cloth pieces a little later on, they just elevate the builds to like an absurd degree. You know, like Vezon looks so good.
Yeah,
having
he's got the sick cape.
The cape looks really good. And they just didn't use any of that to their advantage, which is a real shame because so many Bionicle sets could have been just hugely improved.
Yeah, I agree. Like, honestly, Nivawk could have also used them for its wings, right? And wings, it would have looked way cooler because the other portion of this besides Duma, like that I'm going to pick on, is Nivawk is ugly. Like, in my opinion, it's so bare and so skeletal that it's like, this is not satisfying to look at.
Right.
Like,
and the wings too. They really could have used one more key rock staff.
Yeah.
On each side. Like, just having the two looks bad.
It does look bad.
It's hard to think of it as like a creature in the world because you're like, there's nothing here. It's like a bunch of it's like a flying skeleton.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm
Thestral.
pretty mean to it, but I think it kind of
totally deserves it. Yeah.
It's
Like
definitely
Krekka,
not
it
one of
kinda
the better
deserves it.
ones.
If we find a Nivawk defender out there, like I'll eat my shoe.
I do like the claws.
Someone
and
please defend
No,
Nivawk.
no,
I
don't.
feel
I feel
like
like
see him eat his shoe.
It's that Akmu defender guy.
the claws are really well thought out and look really cool. I love how the claws are done. And the face is also not bad. Like, the head looks pretty good. But other than that, yeah, pretty indefensible.
Yeah, there are elements of it that are fine. It's just, as a whole, it is not good.
Yep.
It is not better than the sum of its parts.
However, what is good?
Ooh.
Toa Lhikan and Kikinalo, which I forgot to put in the set number for.
Our viewers are distraught.
Coming in at a measly 214 parts in comparison to Krekka's 207 parts, but retailing for $10 more at $30.
Those 7 extra parts are worth the money, I guess.
Well, you know, as we'll see, I think they genuinely are. But yeah, this is the last but certainly not least set. Yeah.
I was just going to say the reason they're more is because you're really getting like 6 Toa.
Yeah.
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 Price, wait, how much did the Toa sell for? $5?
The Toa, I think at this point, were $8.
Yeah, see, so you're getting a really
Pretty
good deal with
bargain.
Lhikan.
Yeah.
Nidhiki existing detracted some of the price away from it.
No, this one is actually, I feel like, a really good value because you do get a Toa and then you get the Kikinalo on top of that, and it's just like...
No, you get the Toa on top of the Kikinalo.
Right, yeah.
Clever.
Like Duma and Nivawk, I feel like these two look really good together. But unlike that set, this is a really good set. Honestly, I think they look just as good together, if not better. Or apart, if not better apart. Honestly, like
Yeah. But they both stand
they
alone
both stand
very
alone
well.
super well. Lhikan, starting with Lhikan, just a great looking build. He's got the new mold for the golden How, which looks amazing. The flat gold recolors of the Metru armor just add that kick that the Metru design needs.
Yes.
To just really elevate, because the Metru design is not bad, but the monochrome look hurts it.
Well, it's especially weird going from the Nuva, who had the added silver secondary colors for all their stuff, and then not having it for the Metru, then putting it on Lhikan.
Right.
And like, I don't know if it was the right choice for the Nuva, but for the Metru, definitely the right choice.
The weird part is, like, in the case of the Nuva, that was actually a tertiary, right? Because they had a primary, let's say Tahu, right? The scarlet red. And then he had orange as a secondary.
True.
And then on top of that, they all had that tertiary silver.
Yeah.
And so it's like...
And then you go to the Metru,
the only secondary color is the
gray,
the base color that
the
like,
gray that just blends in.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to accent it. It was just utilitarian. They had to have it, right? So it's like, yeah,
I agree. So yeah, the gold really helps that design stand out a lot. Looks really good. Now it is really interesting because he does have gold armor, and then his weapons, which were his twin fire greatswords were in silver, which is a choice, but I think it does work.
I don't think it's bad.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. Excellent weapons, by the way. New mold for the set and would only be seen in this set. And they could be combined to make the lava surfboard, which is so cool. And just, great looking apart and then together as the surfboard shield. Also great looking together. So big fan.
It's also weird that it's called a lava surfboard when it's just a hoverboard.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's what I called it. I don't know if that's actually what it's called.
I think it's just called the hoverboard.
Yeah.
But it can presumably also surf on lava.
I mean, I would assume he is a fire Toa after all.
So I said presumably.
Lhikan, of course, contains the same articulation and play features as the other Toa Metru, or as the Toa Metru. His arms would swing by turning a gear on the back, and you could do all kinds of karate chop action. Very cool.
Yep.
Kikinalo, of course, is no slouch either.
Well, except that it's kind of in a hunch position constantly.
Right.
But
aside from that, With an imposing and muscular, accomplished with recolored silver Rakshi backs, build, Kikinalo looks like it could break down a wall. Its silver and black color scheme contributes to it feeling armored and menacing without appearing overwhelmingly dark or evil. I think because, unlike Nivawk, it uses more silver than black.
Yeah.
Which leans it to looking armored without looking evil.
Yeah, it's armored, powerful,
right,
threatening, not menacing or evil.
It could also be stood upright on its hind legs or on all fours, and the head, which is made from Rocky staff tips and a single
Rocky
staff tips and a single one of Lewa's arrow slicers, Lewa Nuva's arrow slicers as its horn, featured enough articulation to look good in either mode. The tail made of Rakshi leg parts, which is the last time we would actually see this piece used.
Ooh.
Sad, because I feel like it's a versatile piece, but it's kind of a part of that old design philosophy that sees its way out in 2004.
I'm not sure how much I miss Rakshi leg pieces.
Yeah, they're fine. But it is effective and fun to play with because it's so articulated. The tail works really well. And I think unlike Nivawk, this design does not look incomplete on its own.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think it looks good enough to be a set just by itself.
Well, it's even super rare to have a Rahi that looks complete because a lot of them have so many holes and stuff.
Yeah.
But this one, I'm like, yep, I got it.
And all of this done with not a single new mold.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Or recolor.
Dang.
Yep.
Eat that, Nivawk.
Pretty cool. With just a few more parts than Nidhiki, it does a lot more, in my opinion. I don't know. Wait, why did I say that? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's only has a few more parts than the next closest one, which is Krekka, I think is what I was trying to say. But because I think Krekka had what, 203? 203.
Yeah.
This one has 217. Yeah. With 15 more pieces, it's pretty impressive how much more, 14 more pieces. It's pretty impressive how much more this is able to accomplish.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I feel like you feel like you're getting two solid figures. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's worth that extra $10 price tag, honestly. Like 100%. It's sturdy. It feels good. It's fun to play with. You get an iconic character. You get a really cool Rahi that goes along with it, even if the Kikinalo doesn't really matter that much in lore. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think S tier set, in my personal opinion, and the standout of the wave.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
The Vaki are pretty cool as sets, but yeah, I think Kikinalo and Lhikan are definitely the standouts. I would agree with that. You know what? You're right. You're speaking a lot of true facts over here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love this set. I think it looks the most complete, which is ironic given the information you told us earlier where they rushed it out because they didn't have it prepared. So it's like Maybe you guys should do that more. Maybe you work better under pressure, Lego.
Yeah.
When they have time, they're like, this is actually this guy's eye. When they don't have time, like, make it the most base character of all time. Go, go, go.
Yep. It's too bad that the aftermarket price is reflective of its value, because this one goes for like $70 to $80.
Wait, we should have been slandering these sets so that they would lower in price, and then we can like scalp them all.
Guys,
Nobody
Nivawk
wants
is so
these.
good.
Yeah.
Nivawk, great set. You should buy it. You know,
He has so many play functions.
so many. It's got like 2 play functions.
Yeah.
That's like 2 more than Kikinalo has.
Ooh.
I think I just looking at the set, I really like the use of the Roxy pieces for the tail. It does look really nice and very fluid, considering that a lot of the pieces at that time wouldn't have translated well to a tail. I don't feel like.
Right.
But like it looks good, right?
And the Roxy backs for the
the
legs.
legs is very smart.
Yeah.
Roxy backs are just the best piece.
It's so weird how often they're used and how versatile they are given how big of a piece.
How big and specific you'd think they would be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, wow, I can't believe they come up so often.
Yeah.
Yep.
They really do. Just a last note. So there was one combiner for these Titan sets, and it combined all 3 of the non-Lhikan Titans. So it was Nivawk and Dume, Krekka, and Nidhiki all combined together. And they came together to make Ultimate Dume, which canonically is Makuta's form. Well, Makuta in Dume form when he eats Nivawk and Krekka and Nidhiki and absorbs them into himself and like creates this whole thing.
Yeah.
This thing, it looks fine mostly. The head is really weird and bad. It's mostly just kind of a better looking Nivawk.
I was going to say, it just kind of looks like a big spooky bird. It doesn't look like Makuta at all.
It's kind of weird. I don't dislike it. I think the red hand is really cool.
It kind of looks like a prototype Cardis dragon.
Well, that's what I said. So, like, you can definitely see the inspiration here for the much, much better Cardis dragon
Yes.
later on. And there's also some Botar inspiration there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, definitely some inspiration. And it looks fine, like I said.
Yeah, it's not really a bad combiner.
No.
Like,
We've seen some bad
seen up to
combiners.
this
Yeah.
point, yeah, that's pretty good.
Like I said, it's like a good Nivawk.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Like that voice crack.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so moving on to the community section, Samuel.
All right, let's jump into it. You are now entering the community portion of the podcast. In this section, we showcase some of our favorite creations from talented and passionate members of the Bionicle fandom. So first up, we have a Nidhiki fan art by Crunchy on the TTV message boards. And so this is fan art of him as a Toa specifically. You'll have to explain to me, is Nuperu's mask
Yes.
Yes.
The same mask as this one. Yes.
Okay, so
Now-
that's why everybody uses it
He
for
probably-
or something similar to it.
Yes.
He probably wouldn't use that exact one because that one has a breathing apparatus attached to it,
Yes.
which the normal mask would not have.
Yeah.
I want
And
to
it'd
know
also be in a
why
different
did
regional style.
everybody give him the one that's closer to his Mari mask? No one wanted to try to give him the Inika version.
It's not the same mask.
It's not the same
No.
mask.
He has the mask of flight as an
They
Nika.
switch masks.
What?
Yep.
And plus that'd be even farther off since it's a purely organic mask.
Oh, that's a good point.
Everything
Then
you just said
ignore
is
that.
wrong.
I have no clue what I'm talking about, clearly.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I really like those. This one caught my eye because the scythe looks so cool, and it also looks like it has a Kanoka in it, which I'm like, that would be the coolest function in that scythe, either
If you
as
could,
a
like throw it.
either throwing it or as a Kanoka component, right, where you could whack it on the ground and activate
Ooh,
whatever.
That would
I mean,
be
you
cool.
can clearly see that this is based on something because that whatever's holding the Kanoka mask for sure looks like a Mictoran arm.
Ooh, yeah, you're right. It kind of does.
I'm sure that's what it is.
Anyway, whatever it is, I thought it looked sick, and that's why I'm like, okay, this is like fits into the Spec Ops theme of the Toa man guy, right? They're going on secret missions, they're doing stuff. I'm like, yeah, I can see this guy being a secret operator that had to hunt and survive on the Trencrom Peninsula.
Yeah.
So, excellent job, Crunchy.
All right, next up we have a Nidhiki revamp by Bucky or Buki. We still don't know how to pronounce your name, but you do fantastic work, so you'll be showing up more times than this, I'm sure. But this is on TTV message boards as well.
Ooh, this is a really good build.
So this one is very cool. I like the simplicity of it. Like it doesn't overdo it. Like a lot of the revamps and rebuilds are great. Like they're super cool and very well refined. Mm-hmm. But sometimes they lose a lot of the sleekness and just the general feel of the original set. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this one does not. Especially the second picture here. If you look at it from the side, I think is where I was like, ooh, I really like how you can see the whole construction of the head. Especially the pincers.
Yeah. No, the head just looks...
Or mandibles.
So cool. It gets that insectoid, menacing, almost Visorak looking feel. But like, yeah, just, ooh. This is so cool, man.
Yeah, this is really, really good.
Also, I like the eyes. I like the
eyes
use
are
of that
great
piece
touch.
for the eye. It just looks so much better than the original set, which lacks because the eyes are the same color as the rest of the hood.
Hard agree.
All right, next up we have Krekka by Breaker of Sockets on DeviantArt.
So Breaker of Sockets is amazing.
This was reposted by someone else on Reddit.
Okay, wait, this is sick.
I know. I was looking at this one and I'm like, this is just so cool.
I would love to see a Bionicle show animated in this style.
Yes, because like it's that simple like cartoon style, but not cartoon-ish.
And it's still very faithful to the design of...
faithful to the set as well as like the massive overhead arm looking from the movie. But I think it's just a cool fusion and just like it hits all the right buttons in my mind.
I like it. It looks like I'm trying to remember of the show. Was there a Transformer show that was designed to be more for like little kids?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot.
But like there's
Are you
some
thinking
show.
Of the Rescue Bots?
It might be
or Transformers animated.
I don't remember honestly, but there's something about this style is giving me like it's triggering something in my mind that's like, ooh, Transformers. But specifically like the younger kids one, like the style is much more similar to that.
For some reason, it reminds me of Paw Patrol, and I don't know why.
Yeah. Brutal.
It's not bad though. It's not bad. It looks really good.
Paw Patrol is.
Yeah. No, it does kind of look like Transformers animated though.
It looks really cool though.
Yeah,
like,
I love it.
Genuinely great.
That's what it reminds me of.
I was gonna say, I think it was by Derek
language.
J. Wyatt, he does a bunch of cool stuff. He did one of the Ben 10 series. He did Mr. Incorporated.
Oh, interesting.
So he has a very iconic style that I just love.
Yeah.
But this next one,
dude, this Lhikan fan art.
Next we have a Lhikan fan art by Kozin 810290. Sorry, underscore 810290. This is on X. And we actually also have one by that same user that's going to be Duma, but we'll that in just a second. So Lhikan up first.
Yeah, this is Lhikan riding on his hoverboard, and it's just so sick. Like, I don't know how else to say it.
This is the first image that I've ever seen that has convinced me that hands can actually look good on Bionicles.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even notice that. Like, I didn't notice the hands immediately, which is a good thing. I feel like.
I just love the posing, like the foot forward, like... Oh.
There was an artwork that we looked at way back when we did Toa Metru, I think, that had Vikama with the foot forward, almost in that same sort of crouched pose, not like exactly like this, but with that foot forward and the leg forward with the knee up, and it does look really good. It looks powerful. And I don't know, something about it. So... good composition.
I couldn't get over
posing.
this. I was like, because I was looking through Lhikan stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, this stuff's fine. That's all. I was like, oh.
I assume that the Metoric in the background says Lhikan.
I don't know, Jacob.
It does.
resident Metoric translator. And then this next one, also by him, I put this one on here. This is Duma.
I like this even better.
Yes, I know. I'm like, the texture, the detail on this one is just incredible.
Dude, the Vaki in the background?
Yep. He has a picture of Vaki as well, but I'm like, this isn't the Vaki episode anymore, and I didn't find it before then, so.
That's really interesting because the Lhikan one looks completely like it was painted. This one looks much more like a render.
Yeah.
And they're both cool. I like them both in the style. But yeah, this one has the added benefit of having all that like metallic texture on it.
Yeah. The little like bits of rusting and whatever.
And I do like that the mask is somewhere in between the movie mask and the actual playset because it's cool. Like this is a nice blend.
Well, I just like how he's small, like Duma is small, but he doesn't look weak, right? Like he's got that clenched, powerful fist. He's holding on to the staff. You're like, this guy literally rules the city with an iron fist.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice joke.
So, yeah, thank you. I just thought, I'm like, yeah, this encompasses, like you see this picture and you get Duma, right?
Very nice. Well done. Next up, we have Toa Nidhiki, which is a physical build by Toa Mangai Project on Reddit.
It's the Mangai Project. And I believe
my bad.
This is multiple people. I'm pretty sure. I haven't looked that closely into it.
I would assume it is.
But it looks good.
What are all the masks?
So it was like a promotion to just... Basically, they were selling these Toa Nidhiki masks.
Gotcha, I see.
Which I really like this design. I mean, it's simple.
It's simple.
It's like how Lego would actually do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. It definitely like uses almost the exact same design language as the Metru.
I like the unaltered Volatech. I think that's interesting interpretation of it without the scuba tube.
Right.
I think that the arms are really interestingly done to give it articulation. Do you see how they did that?
Yeah, that is really cool.
So they basically like put a little ball coming off of the axle that comes out of the body instead of it just going directly into the shoulder of the arm, right? And of the forearm. Sorry, not the forearm, your upper arm. And instead they put the ball and then they dropped it down so you could actually like articulate that shoulder, which is cool. That's a really smart way of doing it.
Yeah, I'm very impressed.
Next up, we have an Ultimate Duma remake by iBucky00 on Instagram. And Bucky from TTV, if this is you, please let us know. We assume it is, but we would like to confirm that. This is, I mean, so this build is phenomenal.
Yeah.
However, the source material is where I have the issue. So anything that we say negative about it is not about your build. It's just about the weirdness of the Ultimate Duma.
I do like this one though because it sort of justifies the weirdness. Because like if you scroll through the pictures, you can see that it like incorporates like actually different aspects. So like one of his arms is like Nidhiki's head.
Yeah.
And then another one is like Krekka's head.
Because it's the body horror aspects it says it's going for. Because like he did just absorb these people and their mass. So like, gotta go somewhere.
I also love the flaming red hand. That just looks sick.
Yeah. I think it's a cool design. The little like the wheel piece going into the hand. But I really like the clawed hand on the left side.
Right.
Like very Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
But in like a cool way. And the wings are sick as well.
Yeah, the wings are a huge improvement.
Look, notice how he put more than 2 on either side.
I know, and
Mini
it actually
Kirak
looks good.
died to bring us these wings.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have an epic Makuta movie version by Ferrix_journey on Instagram.
This is not strictly from what we were talking about, but it was so cool. I just felt like we had to look at it.
It's sort of what we were talking about because that's how we did mention that's how Makuta gets his wings.
True. But I mean, come on, look
Every
at this
time a Nivawk dies, a Makuta gets his wings.
Look at this thing.
Yeah, that is
It's
really
just
cool.
Sick.
The squat legs. Hoorah!
Yeah.
That's what, when Jacob showed it to me earlier, I was like, that I like that it uses the same weird lower hip, like super wide hip
Bro's got them
construction.
Yeah, like
thick
literally
hips.
just commit to the bit, and
Yeah.
I love the wings though. The cloth on the wings just looks so cool.
It
It's
does
so
look
good.
really good.
This is like so good. I want to build my own version.
And the
of
optional
this.
shadow hand that can come out is also
Mhm.
sick.
Very nice.
Excellent.
All right. Next up, we have a Nidhiki Miramax version. And this one is by Axel.bro17, also on Instagram. So this one's actually a lot closer to the one we saw earlier. And in fact, they used the same piece for the eyes. This, I like the fact that this one, the way they used the end tail pieces for the mandibles looks a lot more like the movie, which is really interesting and a smart way to do that.
And the little mouth that can open.
I like that he can open his mouth on this one. Yeah.
The fourth picture where he's just seething at Lhikan.
This
Lhikan's just doing
particular
the Chad pose.
Yeah.
this particular shot makes me go like, oh yeah, that's the movie version of Nidhiki 100%.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it does look very similar. All right, next up we have a Krekka revamp, also by Bucky on TTV message boards. This one is so good. Again, I am not complaining about this particular design. I just don't like the movie design, as we've discussed. But this interpretation is really close to the movie version. I mean, there are some changes, but overall, it's like I can see the influence here.
And it looks like an eye in this one.
You can clearly tell it's an eye.
Yeah, this is such a cool build
Yeah.
because it gives like that sense of like competence and athleticism that someone like him should have based off the original set,
Yeah.
right? So I really like it.
The Hordika masks, the
Mhm, as the
Nokama
shoulder
masks on
pads.
the shoulder pads. That's really cool. And also the arms are really, I can't even tell exactly, just at least not in this one picture. It's just a tube held in. Like the arms are thin on the upper arm, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't look skinny.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you look at, I think the tubing helps a lot that's added there, but it looks, I guess because the shoulders are so big and the forearms are so big that it's like that in between, even though it is relatively thin, does not mess up the design at all.
Yeah. No, it's so clean. I love it.
Love it. Next up, we have another cool Krekka by Also IG on Insta.
Maybe spell it out for the...
By OSSOIG on Instagram.
I like the description of this one. The movie version and pre-Gorast LASIK surgery.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
That is pretty funny.
I just really like this take on it as well. I feel like it's like
The
just-
hands are almost exactly the same as Bucky's.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that is really interesting. Sorry, Jacob, what were you
no,
saying?
that was pretty much it.
Yeah, no, I like it. The flat, like underneath the head, is a really cool angle to go with it. Like how it just, like the shoulders.
Yeah,
are
the
like,
shoulders rest at the top of
Mhm.
like the whole upper body.
And a blue disc launcher is cool.
Yeah, that would have been exclusive to certain disc packs,
Yeah.
as we mentioned.
Very nice, very nice. All right, next up we have another Toa Nidhiki. This is a physical build.
This one is so cool.
This one is really cool. This is by Sinova32 on the TTV message boards as well.
Titled Toa Nidhiki, the Reaper of the Trenkrom Peninsula.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Now this is how I imagine
The-
Toa Nidhiki to look.
Yeah, this one's
Yeah.
really good, and the mask is much better in my
Mhm.
opinion. Like I can see the influence from Nuperu's mask, and yet it looks distinctly visually different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it serves this build really well.
Yeah. I'm just imagining like this guy lurking in the shadows going after you. It's like, what are you gonna do? Like, you're so toast.
Die.
Yeah. Yeah, this is sick. Oh man, I said that too many times, but like, there's too many cool mocks.
Mm-hmm.
Too many. Guys, stop making cool mocks.
Yeah, stop
okay?
being so good. You're making the rest of us look bad.
Yeah.
That's a joke. Don't stop.
No, it's not a joke. We mean this legitimately.
All right, next up we have a Duma movie version by this is by Axel Bro, Axel.bro17 on Instagram, which we saw the Nidhiki Miramax version earlier.
I know it's simple, but I really like it.
I really like this one as well.
It gets more into
This
that.
looks like a Turaga.
Yeah. It again looks more like something Lego would actually kind of put out.
Right.
Yeah. The use of the Glatorian, the thorax launcher
For the cloak.
pieces for the cloak.
Like,
is
if you're not going to
really
do
good.
cloth pieces, at least make it look like they're cloth.
Yeah,
Right. That's inspired.
it is very well done. And I pointed out that the head, like the headpiece, the head brick that goes in the back of the old Matoran and Toa heads is what's used on the top of the staff.
Yeah.
And I think that's clever.
I said because it's Turaga Dume's controlling your mind.
Yep. Yeah, I like this one. It gets the point across really well, I think.
Yeah. It is funny though, one of the later slides, it has Duma standing next to the Turaga of Mad and Nui, and like the height difference between him and Turaga Wanua is just comical.
All right, next up we have a drawing illustration of a Kanohi dragon.
By
this
who?
is by Corvin Stick. I cannot pronounce your last name. Stichert. Stickert. Senior designer at the Lego Group. Interesting.
This guy, I mean,
This looks like
this
out of
is
Power
so
Rangers.
cool.
Yeah.
Like, it immediately just is like, this is a Zord right here.
Dude, look how huge this thing would be, because look at the Kanohi.
Oh, I didn't even realize those were
my
Kenobi.
gosh.
Holy moly. They look like tiny little scales.
Now you can see why this thing would take a whole team of Toa to defeat.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, like
It's like a
Envy
kaiju.
from Full Metal Alchemist, Thomas.
What?
It
Oh, yeah,
reminds me
Envy.
of Envy from Full
Yeah.
Metal
Yeah, you're
Alchemist.
right. Oh, man.
I also
That's
love
really
the
cool.
two eyes.
Oh, that's interesting too.
Wait.
It has two eyes on either side of its head, like
Oh, it has 4 eyes
4
total.
eyes total.
Yeah.
That's cool. I see the vision now. Maybe it's so powerful because it's wearing like 2 billion Mask of Strength.
Good point.
No, that's really cool.
Yeah, I really, really like this design.
Yeah, the Picaria scales is smart. That's really smart.
I mean, that's what the original mock that the Kanohi Dragon was based off of has. But I just feel like I love this illustration. And just the art itself is just beautiful. Also, that last one is supposed to say Nidhiki. I don't know why.
Mishima reimagining.
So the last one we have is a Nidhiki redesign,
Reimagining?
reimagining. This is by Nikita Nikolsky on Flickr, and this one is unlike any of the others we've
Yep.
seen.
He's much more a freaky deaky than the other ones.
Freaky
He
Nidhiki.
looks
Yes, freaky
like a
Nidhiki.
chameleon to me. The head, at least, looks like a chameleon.
Right.
He looks... Keep going.
He looks more animalistic and less insectoid, in my opinion.
He looks like a Ben 10 alien. And I was trying to think of it, and it looks like this guy.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah, he looks like Wildvine from Ben 10. Not that it's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's a cool build. It's just different. It is very different
Yeah.
than what we've seen.
So let's get over our confusion and shock and
Yes.
because I feel like we're just like
We're not trying to
Yeah.
bash on it.
By
It's
the way,
just-
the Metoric on where it's pointing to the head says 5 eyes are better than 1.
Oh, interesting.
so as a more alien design,
better than 2.
I really like it. I can see why this would freak out Matoran to the point where like I'm not interacting with you at all
Yeah.
because it just looks alien, but also like so curved and smooth on the head. Like, I really like it.
Yeah.
And the thin pinchers, I like them as well.
The use of the axe heads from Brutaka are really interesting. Do you see that?
No.
On the back half of the head.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I like this one.
What is
made up
used
my mind.
for the legs? Like the...
I'm trying
what
to
is
figure that out.
piece? It's
It's not a specific
fur
piece. Oh yeah, that like it's from
It's like
the Chima buildable figures.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It looks cool. I just
It
couldn't
is
tell
really
what
cool.
piece it was.
Anyway, who's this by?
This was by
Nikita Nikolsky.
Yeah. Anyway, so cool. I like it.
very cool.
Great stuff.
Good job, everybody. A round of applause for our community
That was a long
members.
community.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Crazy community section.
You guys are too good, as we
Not
said.
so. Yeah.
Well, that concludes the community section.
And with the community section done, any closing thoughts before we end the episode?
I like the Titans. I
Yeah.
think they're cool. Like, they are
Nivawk excluded.
well, yeah. The concept of all of them are
Yeah.
very cool. And it's fun because it adds a little bit more interest into the sets too, to have these one-off sets where it's like you don't feel like you have to buy all of them. Like, I would imagine that it would be very frustrating to buy one Toa and not be able to get the others.
Yeah.
But like, these are just, you could just buy the one set and it doesn't have to connect to any of the others, and you can just be satisfied with that one set. It wasn't like a collect them all sort of intentional design in that way.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that's just a neat added product to their lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really glad they exist because it just allows for like so many cool lore things. It's like, oh, here's a crazy cool looking guy, make up stuff. And it's like, okay, he does crazy cool things. I'm like, oh yeah, this is crazy cool.
Yeah.
So like, it's just a plus in my opinion.
Yep. Agreed.
Cool. Well, with that, we end today's episode.
Goodbye.
This brings us to the end of today's podcast. If you enjoyed the discussion, please follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. If you like to watch instead of listen, you can also find us on YouTube. The Barraki Talk Show is only made possible thanks to viewers like you. Thank you.